What is happening, fellas? Steeler here, back again with yet another video talking about some very interesting things. Phil Spencer talking about Xbox Scorpio's launch lineup, Ralph Fulton of Forza Horizon 3 development talking about a potential Scorpio patch, and a few other things. But real quick, I wanted to tackle something that a couple people have brought up in the comments. Yes, I like to say fuck. Okay, I don't know why. It's just the way I'm rocking out right now. If you're one of those people that really bothers you and things like that, I get it. I get it. I catch myself doing it, and I'm like, God damn, I cuss a lot. And I'm doing it right now. That's just me, at least right now at this point in my life. So, if that shit don't offend you and you feel like getting your news from somebody that tries to keep it real and tries to give a dose of logic in there as well, then rock out with me, subscribe with me. But if obviously you're one of those people that believe other YouTubers when they tell you 4K isn't possible on the Scorpio, then you're probably not the most intelligent, or you don't do your research. So if you believe it when somebody tells you that Scorpio can't do 4K, you better believe a PC gamer when they tell you, well, hey, a GTX 980 Ti can't do 4K, which we know is not true. Those things do 4K 30 high settings, ultra settings, easy. On some titles, it's 4K 60 high settings. You better believe a PC gamer when they tell you a GTX 1070 can't do 4K, which we know isn't true, because GTX 1070 does 4K 30 high settings easily. Alright, and the reason I use those two PC GPUs as a benchmark, because Scorpio's right there. Scorpio is more powerful than a GTX 980 Ti, and around the same when a GTX 1070 is in overboost mode. Now, overboost only occurs when the GPU is running cool enough to increase its frequency. So without overboost on GTX 1070, it's actually weaker than a Scorpio console. In overboost, it's slightly more powerful, just barely. So, just trust me when I fucking tell you that 4K 30 high settings, ultra settings is possible on Scorpio. It's fucking possible. And I do believe teams like Turn 10 will have games like Forza Motorsport 7 at 4K 60. It doesn't have to be ultra, it doesn't have to be 8 times MSAA. I didn't say it's going to be the end-all be-all visually, but what it will be is 4K 60. Mark my fucking words. But, ultimately, we could all be wrong. This thing could come out and burst into fucking flames. That's why I say hold your horses and, take the information as it comes. Performance, I really don't think Microsoft will put this much stock in some of this stuff, knowing that it can't do 4K. I just don't. That's the common sense side of my thinking process. So, speaking of Scorpio, somebody tweeted Phil Spencer here recently and said, hey Phil, how is the Xbox Scorpio launch lineup looking? Is there any chance that a Halo title could be included in there? And he said, Scorpio games lineup is, it's shaping up very well. Sorry, I lost my place. Shaping up very well. He also went on to say that he's glad developers are utilizing 4K textures and assets on the PC side so they'd be ready for the Scorpio version when it hits. And like I said, I just don't think they would tout this stuff if that were the case. Now, some people say, well, they said 1080p with Xbox One, right? And that's not doing... Yes, it is fucking doing 1080p. I've got one single video where I list near 100 1080p titles on the X1 right now. And that was, 6, 7, 8 months ago. So obviously it can do 1080p, but irrefutably both consoles, PS4 and X1, have struggled with 1080p. I mean, Killzone Shadowfall multiplayer was 720p, Uncharted multiplayer 900p, The Witness indie game 900p on PS4, which, by the way, The Witness is hitting Xbox One early September. Power has been an issue, and I think that's why people have been so underwhelmed by this generation. But anyways, yes, there will be a launch lineup. You can bet your ass cheeks Forza Horizon 3 will be a part of that launch lineup with that patch that I mentioned earlier. IGN did an interview with him on their channel called Unlocked. It is an Xbox-centric YouTube channel. You can go subscribe if you want to keep up with those guys. Some of you guys don't like them. I completely get that, but that's where I got this information. Ralph Fulton of Playground Games, the guy behind Forza Horizon 3, has basically said, when asked, hey, will the Scorpio version run better? He said, well, I'm glad we're doing the PC version because we've already got those 4K assets ready. And that was the best way he could have answered that without getting in trouble, I would assume. So, obviously, this isn't me taking this out of context. If you go watch the full interview or just skip to the end, you'll pretty much get the same thing I'm getting here. Yes, there will be a Forza Horizon 3 Scorpio patch day one of that console's release. I guarantee it. And also, one last thing, Microsoft are hiring people for Project Scorpio. Now, the interesting thing is they're actually going to work with the emulation team, the guys that made back-compat on the X1 possible. As you guys know, that uses emulation to actually play Xbox 360 games, and it works great. Pretty much all titles run better on the emulated version of the Xbox 360 that's on Xbox One. So I think it's great. I don't know why they're sending people to work on the Scorpio, but with the emulation team, there's been some speculation that they may be emulating Xbox One games, which would in no way impact performance. Obviously, look at the Xbox 360 titles, but that's apparently not the case. Apparently, they're very similar x86 architecture, and they will not need to emulate Xbox One titles. So I'm not really sure what they're doing with these guys, but it is what it is. I figured it was worth letting you guys know about. And if you guys have any questions or want to know anything, let me know down below. All the sources will be in the link below. Follow me on Twitter at dealer_gaming. Just posted a really cool Gears of War energy drink that I found at a store the other day on my feed, and some other things. Follow me on Xbox Live, capital II, space capital dealer, space capital II. And as always, subscribe here on YouTube, share the video, like, comment, and I'm out, fellas.